as it has to do with a pick that I'm sure almost everyone will have an opinion on and off. Ufoma Igbamno happens to be one of the judges for us tonight, and he's in here, really ready for the action. It's delight seeing him this evening. Good evening to you, Foskolo.
Hi, what's up?
I'm doing great. So I think it's the first time I'm having the pleasure of having you as a judge while hosting the show. So good to see you here. Also, we have Onar Kosi, who did a fantastic job, I must say, on Tuesday. I was listening in. Must have been his debut as a judge, but he really did show his thorough in listening and also having to decipher what is right and what's wrong from the quality that we got on Tuesday. We hope we can have that kind of brilliance from him tonight. Onar, welcome.
Thank you once again, Chuma, and good evening, Lagos.
All right, and you're going to be hearing from Sarafina shortly. She is the other judge for us. So we have the complete balance of a lady and two gentlemen. On that note, let's take it to the next level by introducing our guest and our contestants for tonight. I feel like seeing the red and blue corner, but I'm not going to go there because it's not a boxing bout, is it? So we have, based on the documentation here, Shegun, who will be the first contestant for this battle. Good evening to you, Shegun. Good to see you.
Good evening, Chima, and good evening to the panel of judges. Good to be here.
How's the day gone so far?
White, but I can't complain.
You're not looking stressed at all, like someone who
wow.
had a terrible day. I could bring a mirror for you so you see it.
Okay.
You're not looking stressed.
Well,
Maybe you have the kind of body that hides stress. I have a few
exactly.
friends. I have a friend who made me laugh, but he meant it as serious business. And he said, the more stressed he is, the more weight he adds. And I was like, are you kidding me? I cannot believe that.
That's actually true, because I used to have a colleague that said the same thing, that when she's stressed, she adds. So.
Wow. I take so much time to add weight, and very little things make me lose the weight back. So you can understand why I'm amazed that stress makes some people add weight. So please, can I have that? So I'd be stressing myself just to add weight, as the case is. So we also do have Naya, who's in here. Good evening to you, Naya.
Good evening, Chuma. Good evening, Lagos.
Have you had a better day than himself as to less stress?
Well, I guess so.
All right. Good to see you here, and welcome to this battle.
Good.
Okay, so just a reminder before I go on to the topic they will be debating on in the next few seconds that, well, it's a simple format. So by the time I'm done with talking about the topic, they'll have 1 minute each to have to clarify their stance on the topic that is on the cards for this evening. And when they're done with that 1 minute each, we'll get into the main counter-attack battle where both parties will debate against each other in a 5-minute spell. After that, they will have 1 more minute each to clarify things, more like closing remarks or closing arguments, depending on how you want to put it. And then we will go to the voting process. Several platforms through which you can vote. Thank you so much, Sarafina. I think that you do a great job when it comes to trying to get the right word for that. Where somebody just has to come up with something. All right, bring all the files. All right. Okay, it'll be the first time I'll be reading the profile. So you can help me just get the profiles out. Thank you so much. I know that if there's one thing people missed while I was taking charge of the show on behalf of Femi when he was out for over a week, I beg your pardon. It was the fact that I didn't have access to the profiles. I did not want to touch Femi's files. So it's good to know that you have the temerity to go and touch Femi's files. So I will take those profiles shortly. But I was talking about how the voting process goes. You can vote through the phone lines. We'll have a maximum of 5 calls, but any contestant that gets 3 votes from 3 callers would have won the call votes. And then we'll move on to social media, where we have our Facebook platform as well as our Twitter handle too. On Twitter, it's at Nigeria Info FM. That's at Nigeria Info FM. We have a pinned tweet that has to do with the 2 contestants and what they are supporting, courtesy of the topic that we have on offer for them this evening. And all you have to do is just to vote for who impresses you most. But please don't be in a hurry to vote now. Give them all the minutes you can give them to listen to the argument before you go into vote. Also on Facebook too, you can vote. It's Nigeria Info FM. Ufoma is going to do better with that Facebook page for me. So
Nigeria
can you help me
Info 993.
Fantastic. Please take it one more time.
Nigeria Info 993.
That's what happens when you have the head of the online media team in the studio with you.
It does that.
He has everything by heart. Somebody will say off head, as if you take the person's head, the person will still have it. As the case is, Still, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's the phone line still. But yeah, still the profile now as teacher Sarafina keeps going through with more of the transcripts. Talking about transcripts, I know what I suffered in the hand of my university to get transcripts out. So let's get back to this now. Chineye Belinda.
No.
It's the wrong one, I guess. Okay. Teacher, please collect your scripts. Thank you. Let's go to Shegun Ola first off, who is the first contestant for this battle. Shegun is in his 20s and his nickname is Shegun Fresh. I understand why. I will not have to ask him to understand why the fresh is added to that, because I'm sure his friends will say he's a fresh boy. Okay, well, he is an architect and a fan of Manchester City in Europe and supports MFMFC here in Nigeria. He lives somewhere in Ikeja in Lagos and has a Twitter handle that goes this way, El Shigeri. Did I get that right?
Yes.
El Shigeri. ELSHEGERRY. And I wouldn't stress you with his email. So welcome again. And why the choice of that handle?
It's the mix of my name and one of my favorite player, El Sharawi. So,
nice.
So I just mixed it together.
I know there was a time I used to call that player El Shawari. Yeah. All right, let's get now to Chineye Achi Mobosi. Did I pronounce your surname right?
Mobosi.
Mobosi. What part of Igbo land?
From Delta State.
Oh, nice. All right. Okay, her nickname is Neye, and she's also in her 20s. She's a customer service representative, supports Arsenal as a foreign team, and doesn't have a local team here. So maybe I'm going to induct her into the FC Fan Yuba Hall of Fame here in Nigeria. And she stays somewhere in Nigeria.
When we have Delta Force.
Will be your mate for Delta Force. You guys now have two teams in the league, don't you, for Warri Wolves are back, are they? Are they? Okay. All right. And also, she has the Twitter handle at NK_Chineye. Enough of my talking. Time for us to have the contestants show some walking. Welcome one more time. Good evening to you, and welcome one more time. Let's get into it. So the topic that they are having to debate upon this evening is, despite Liverpool's European triumph, Barcelona and Real Madrid each have more players in the FIFA Best 11 shortlist. Fair or unfair? I'll take that one more time. Despite Liverpool's European triumph, Barcelona and Real Madrid each have more players in the FIFA Best 11 shortlist. Fair or unfair? Naya says fair. Shegun is going to be arguing for unfair. I'll just remind you that they did not choose this by their own volition, but it was more like a raffle, and they just choose blindly the topic, the perspective to the argument that they have chosen for this evening. So it may not necessarily reflect what they think of in reality. So are you guys ready for me?
Yes.
Okay, so let's get into it straight away. 1 minute you have Shegun to argue why it's unfair that Barcelona and Real Madrid have more players in the FIFA 11 shortlist than Liverpool. And those 1 minute, that 1 minute, I beg your pardon, will kick off right now.
Yeah, many thanks, Chuma. Individual football awards, are meant to reward players for their outstanding performances over a period of time, usually in a season or in a calendar year. Of course, nomination lists helps with creating a merit premise to decide the eventual winner. However, it's quite sad that the FIFA Pro over the years have paid more credence to age-long pedigree and the profile of a player, and also considered the club that player plays, as opposed to giving more credence to merits, ultimately. So this explains why a Real Madrid team that had a cancerous season, had more nominations in a nomination list over the current European champions, which is Liverpool. I mean, fairness can never be better defined.
Thank you very much. You left us with just about 5 seconds to go home with. We appreciate that. But for Naya, you have the option of maximizing your 60 seconds if you want to. Also giving us a few of those. We wouldn't say no if you do that. Naya says it's fair that Liverpool have less players than Barcelona and Real Madrid in the FIFA Best 11, even though they won the UEFA Champions League title. And Naya has the next 60 seconds to open her argument. Those seconds start now.
Thank you very much, Chuma. Football is a team sport. However, it takes a group of individuals to make a team. And in some cases, at a given point in time, regardless of the club they play for, some players actually, perform way more than the others. Liverpool conquered Europe, kudos to them. However, the FIFA Best 11 is a selection of individual players who have excelled at the given positions in the FIFA calendar year. The FIFPro Best 11 actually is picked by professional players, and over 23,000 professional players have voted for their best 11 players. Liverpool was well represented with 7 players in the likes of Becker, Van Dijk, Salah, Mane, and the likes of them. Who else in that Liverpool team, merits being in that particular best 11? Who else? As in, we have the nomination of 55 persons. Who else in that Liverpool team, apart from this key performance, should be in that team?
Thank you very much, Naya. She took advantage of the time that she had on offer for the opening remarks in this conversation and argument, as the case is. We're going to have them have an experience of the next 5 minutes of arguing things out and trying to convince the listening audience as to why we should buy into their sentiment on this very issue. One more time, the topic says, despite Liverpool's European triumph, Barcelona and Real Madrid each have more players in the FIFA Best 11 shortlist. Fair or unfair? Naya goes for fair, and Shegun is arguing for unfair. Please don't be in a hurry to start voting. I'm sure that it's going to be very wise and nice of you to listen to them for the next 5 minutes before you make up your mind. After that, there's still going to be 1 more minute each for them to wrap up their argument. But we have platforms through Facebook and Twitter, options for you to go to if you want to cast your vote. Our Twitter handle remains at Nigeria Info FM. That's at Nigeria Info FM. And on Facebook, it is facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. Ufoma is going to do better again. When I need that, I will ask him to help us out with that. The phone line to be the first port of call, but that will only come after we're done with the arguments. So for Shegun and Naya, you have the next 5 minutes to take your time and elucidate on your perspective for this topic.
Okay, Naya, let me balance me real quick. What do you think about if Barcelona or Real Madrid win the Champions League? Do you think that the captain of that team will be snubbed in a 55-man list for the FIFA Pro?
Okay, so I think at this point in time, we should understand that the bone of contention
nice
is
dodge,
not
though. Go ahead.
The team achievements. We're looking at the individual performances.
Yeah, I just asked you a question about
players.
If a Barcelona team or a Real Madrid team win the Champions League.
Okay.
Do you think that the captain of each of those teams will be snubbed in a 55-man list?
I believe you're referring to Henderson in this case.
Jordan Henderson,
Did Henderson perform, to a pedigree where you would want to put him in that list? I'm asking you.
Yes. It takes
give me
a lot.
Reasons.
Now, let me give you this, right?
Okay.
We have players on that team list that do not deserve to be there.
Like who?
Marcelo doesn't deserve to be there.
Okay.
Now, when you captain a big side like Liverpool, you champion Liverpool to the UEFA Champions League triumph.
Okay.
It is no mean feat, right? Now, my point is this: the award is not just for club national team. Marcelo played nothing for the national team.
You think he did?
He did not play for the national team. He was not in the Copa America team, was he? No. So my point is this. When I am not saying Liverpool players should be more. I am saying that a Real Madrid team that had a bad season should not. Their individual players.
You cannot judge the individual players based on the bad
season. That is why I've said that their individual players cannot be rewarded
by their standards
with unworthiness. When we have players that have thrown in their bodies.
Excuse me. So the Liverpool players that we have on that list are deserving. They deserve to be there.
They can be more. They can be more. Now,
who would have been there in defense?
Fabinho.
No, who would have been there in defense? Let's start from defense. Let's start from the positions.
Okay.
Alisson Becker is there. In defense.
So hold on. Seven players are there. My point is this.
Matip cannot even be on that list.
Real Madrid.
Matip cannot be on that list.
I am not talking about Matip.
No.
Right? I'm not talking about Matip. I am saying on that list, we have the likes of Arturo Vidal. We have the likes of Marcelo.
Now, the only area where Liverpool was not represented was midfield.
Exactly. So how do you identify the European champions?
Okay.
Right? You cannot take away the spine of that team. I would single
Now,
out the captain of that team,
are you going to compare Fabinho
Yeah.
to Casemiro? The stats are there.
No, that's where you're making the mistake.
The stats are there.
It necessarily doesn't have to be a like for like. The point is there is a 55-man list.
Yes.
And the captain of the current European champion
doesn't matter.
is not on that
It's
list.
not
And we have the
compulsory.
like of
It is
Marcelo
not compulsory,
that was
because if you
benched by Regulon in Real Madrid.
If you want to go down that route,
Yeah.
Firmino is actually not meant to be on that list.
Why?
Because in the league, he only scored 12 goals.
Okay.
Champions League, he had 4 goals. Aubameyang.
Look, football,
no. Since you want to
statistics-
go down that
no,
route,
no,
Aubameyang
statistics,
had
let
22
me give you this.
EPL goals.
Firmino is a player that if you use statistics to measure his style of play, you would miss a lot of
No.
quality.
You can't.
He brings a lot, just that-
He brings a lot to the team.
Oh,
Yes.
so you
But
know.
now,
Oh, so you know. So
Teams,
my
it's
point
actually
is this,
based
right?
on your performance, your goals. Goals count, actually. You know that, right? Because you cannot tell me that a player who scored only 12 goals is better than
You
somebody who
cannot
scored
say only
22.
12 goals.
He
See,
scored only 12 goals
you
as a
can't say
centre
only 12
forward.
goals.
As a
See,
centre forward,
okay, so-
he scored only 12 goals
Okay,
as a
so
centre forward.
okay,
Now
help
you're
me
telling
out.
me I
Help
shouldn't
me
do
out.
a like-for-like
Validate
comparison.
how Marcelo deserved to be on that team. and the
Validate.
captain of the Liverpool
Okay,
team.
now I'm putting it to you. Validate.
No,
how
answer my question
Fabinho-
first.
Validate.
Marcelo
I
is
don't
on that
have
list.
to answer your question.
Okay, so that means
Validate
that you
how
are agreeing
Fabinho-
that
I'm not
the
agreeing.
list
I
is
didn't say
unfair
anything.
on Liverpool's side.
I didn't say anything. Now you're saying Fabinho should
Okay.
have been. Fabinho deserves to be on that
Fabinho,
list. Yes.
Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson.
Wijnaldum, over Luka Modric.
That's where you're making the mistake. It doesn't have to be a like for like. Midfielder for midfielder. No,
it has to.
It is not.
It has to.
No.
Because looking at
You are making that
individual
mistake.
performances.
It is a
Modric had a better
list
individual
for
performance.
Please, can we hear you?
Modric
please?
had a better season. Listen, you're looking at the fact that Real Madrid had a very terrible season by their standards. But it doesn't take away
True.
yes, but it
Okay.
doesn't take away the fact.
So do
that
we reward that with the players being singled out in a year where Liverpool?
You're not getting the point.
The
Now
point is
you are
this.
putting team achievement over individual
No,
performance.
I
That
am
is what
saying
you're doing.
when
You're
you
putting
pick
team
out the
achievement
success of
over-
Liverpool, you cannot
over
write the
indi-
history of
and the thing is,
Liverpool
you're actually talking about
without putting the
you're
name of the captain of that team.
No.
You cannot exempt
It is not
Fabinho from that
compulsory.
team.
It is
You
not
cannot
compulsory. There's no way
exempt-
it is written that a captain of a winning team
Yeah.
must be in the FIFA best 11.
No.
There's no, where is it
Should
written?
not be ignored
Where is it
in
written?
a year where he had, if not just for club,
What outstanding
for
season did
national
he have?
team. He
Give
was
me
in
his
the
stats.
he was
Give me his
in
stats.
the
Give
UEFA
me his
Nations
stats.
League.
Are you going to compare Henderson in terms of performances to Toni Kroos to
Oh,
to
come on.
Rakitic?
We are not comparing
no.
midfielders for midfielders.
It
We are
is
just
individual
comparing.
performances we are talking about here. We're not
Yes,
talking
and we
about
are
what
saying
he
the
did.
players on that list. Liverpool
Looking at
players,
individual
Wijnaldum, Fabinho,
performances.
and
Individual
Henderson.
All
performances
right.
is what matters.
All right. Thank you so much. Wow, what a battle we've had. Sometimes it was smooth, some of the time it was very intense coming through from the two parties who are part of the contest for battle number 1 for us tonight on Counter Attack. For the records, this is the nation's first news, talk and sports radio station 99.3 Nigeria Info. And my name is Chuma Nadi in here for Femi Obong Daniels. So we're having this experience that has been on for over a month now, trying to find for ourselves the next best thing when it comes to sporting analysis on radio. And I'm sure we're going to find, because every time we come here on Tuesdays and Fridays in the last set of weeks, it has been a huge experience getting to hear from some of these great talents who are showcasing their brilliance in front of the microphone. Well, we're going to have them talk for 60 more seconds each. If you have not made up your mind yet on who to vote for, these seconds will help you decide. Just before that happens, I need to remind you of the platforms through which you can vote. We have Facebook, where we're streaming live. For the records, you can watch us from any part of the world. And Foma, I'll come back to you on that again. Just remind us.
Nigeria Info 993.
Fantastic stuff. I just love hearing your voice, man. So don't be worried that I come to you. Huh? All right. And on Twitter, we have at Nigeria Info FM. At Nigeria Info FM. You should see a tweet that will take you to our YouTube link. And you can watch us live through YouTube or use the Facebook option. But beyond that, you can also vote through those platforms. The pinned tweet at Nigeria Info FM is the tweet that gives you the platform to vote for the contestant that you go for tonight. And on Facebook, it's not just about dropping your comments. Comments do not count as votes. Votes only work when you click on either Neye or Shegun on the live stream on Facebook at the moment. We'll get to the phone line to the first port of call when we're done with their final points. Speaking about those final points, we'll go there now. If you need a reminder one more time, because I know that every single time you're having one new person or another getting tuned to a radio frequency, so you don't take it for granted that everybody listening now has been listening from the start. We have two contestants in Shegun and Nayer, and they are arguing on this topic. Despite Liverpool's European triumph, Barcelona and Real Madrid each have more players in the FIFA Best 11 shortlist. Fair or unfair? Nayer goes for fair, and Shegun is arguing for unfair. Shegun will talk to us now, as he has 60 seconds to wrap up his argument for tonight. Shegun, you can start now.
Thank you, Chuma. Fairness does not mean everyone has to get the same thing. It means that everybody has to get what they deserve. Liverpool have championed the Europe and by extension deserve some of their individual players deserve to be nominated ahead of players that have performed below par in the past season. Over time the FIFA nominations, as the credibility of FIFA nomination has waned over time, and I am not surprised. Have this happened before? Yes. Atletico Madrid, suffered from this. Antoine Griezmann won the World Cup, won the Europa League, yet he was snubbed in the FIFA nomination list. Same thing goes to the contradictions, ascribed to this FIFA nominations. Courtois was the FIFA best player, yet David De Gea was the goalkeeper of the first 11. So we have all been here. We can relate with this. Will this happen next year? Yes. Were Liverpool unfairly treated? Yes. You cannot better define unfair treatment as this. Liverpool were unfairly treated by the nomination list, a 55-man list that was created, and we have players that deserve it.
Thank you very much, Shegun, for your closing arguments. Without any further ado, we move straight away to Nayer, who will also wrap up her point on this. And Nayer, you can start now.
Okay, thank you. So the bone of contention I mentioned earlier is individual performances and not overall team achievement. Let me just clear it out that the FIFPro Best 11 is nominated by professional players who have who have seen their peers and who have voted for their peers based on what they know or what they feel is right. Liverpool have 7 of their key performers in that list. They have, because when you think of Liverpool, what you think of is their attack and their defense, not so much of their midfield. So if you're saying that Henderson, because he captained Liverpool to the Champions League title, should be in there over the likes of Rakitic, over the likes of Toni Kroos, who performed better than him, then I think, Liverpool were fairly treated. That's all I can say. They were fairly treated.
Thank you very much. You left us with just about 3 seconds to take home, and we appreciate that. Well, we're going to have to decide sooner rather than later. I can hear someone say shout out to every hater. Well, let's sort out the quick commercial break now. When we return from that, we'll go straight to the phone lines to get your votes on who impressed you most tonight. A reminder again that please, we don't want you to vote based on your affiliation to the topic, but based on the quality being showcased by the two contestants tonight. It is 99.3 Nigeria Info. We remain a gang that helps in boosting the Nigerian sporting economy, flying so high with our quality that you may be tempted to think we all studied astronomy, highly influenced by threats or favors because of our level of autonomy. That's why if we're to be a book in the Bible, you rather call us Genesis and not Deuteronomy. As here we classify the details like it happens in taxonomy. We're going to be back shortly. Stay with us. and it's high time we choose who progresses to the next stage of this battle. If you need to be reminded, Naya is the lady, and she was arguing for fairness as to the fact that despite Liverpool's European triumph, Barcelona and Real Madrid each have more players in the FIFA Best 11 shortlist. She says it's fair, and Shegun, if you're watching live now, is the fair gentleman who says it's unfair this time around because his complexion is fair for the records. And we're going to have to pick a maximum of 5 calls. The contestant that gets 3 calls would win the call votes. So if Sarafina does not mind, we'll have her take us through that now. Sarafina, before you start picking the calls, let's remind the listener of the numbers to dial.
On 0127709993, 0127719993, 0127729993, and 0127739993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
Thank you very much, Sarafina. So let's get into it. Hello, good evening. Yeah, please, can you speak up?
Victor from Kuka.
Sorry?
This is Victor from Kuka.
Okay, Victor.
It's like the school question, both of them they spoke very well. It's hard for me to decide who, but I think Nene got more points than the guy. Yeah.
So you're going for Naya?
I'm going for Nene.
All right, Victor, thank you for calling in. Let's get to caller number 2.
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. I'm Ramadan calling from Amuwo.
Nice.
I'm voting for the guy, Shegun.
Do you mind telling us why?
He was really impressed me.
Okay.
He gave the statistics, everything.
All right. Thank you so much, Ramadan. Good to hear from you. So it's 1 apiece. Caller number 3. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm fine. This is Alaji Romeo.
Romeo.
Yeah,
Welcome, Romeo.
yeah, good evening.
Please, let's have your
Voting
vote.
for Shegun. Yeah.
Okay. What did he do that got you?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm just asking, what did Shegun do tonight that got you excited to go for him?
The point is argue on is fantastic.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Romeo. So we go to caller number 4 now. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Peculiar from Satellite Town.
Okay, Peculiar.
It's so tough, but I have to go with one. I'll go with Neye.
Okay. I hope it's not Team Ladies now, Peculiar.
No.
All right. Thank you for calling in. And this call will have to be the tiebreaker. Hello, good evening. Thank you, Sarafina.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Gabriel calling from Corridor.
Okay.
Gabriel calling from Corridor.
Yeah, we got that, Gabriel. Welcome.
Yeah, I go with Shegun. It's my guy, and it was really impressive. The lady in the studio, I was listening to her, and it was like she was reading Bible story or stories for kids. She would have been the better person, but when it comes to sports, I think she should sit. Yeah, I vote for Shegun.
Are we having you vote for Shegun because he's your guy, like you said?
No. His argument was impressive.
All right.
And it was spot on.
Okay. Tell us your name one more time, please.
Gabriel from Corridor.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in. All right. So like Ron Tower, a Nigerian musician, will say, on that note, I rest my case. We can rest our case with the call votes. Shegun takes that. 3 callers went his way. Ramadan, Romeo, and Gabriel. Naya had Victor and Peculiar vote for her. But that's not enough to give her that. We'll get to social media shortly. There's Twitter and there's also Facebook. If you've not voted yet, Sarafina will just confirm for me if the portals are closed. I don't think they are yet, so you can take advantage at Nigeria Info FM. That's on Twitter, and also facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM on Facebook. But it's time to get the verdict of the judges in-house, and I'm not too sure who to go for first to make a case, but I think I'll go for the most experienced man in the media here in the studio. For my mamano.
See wash. See early morning wash. Wow. To be very honest, this is actually a tough decision. Usually, when I'm asked to actually be a panel on this judge, even before the end of the conversations, I already have an idea where my vote would go. But trust me, even till now, I don't know who to vote for. That's why it's a bit surprising that I'm starting. Well, maybe it's a good thing. So at the end of the day, I don't get to be the deciding vote. But seriously speaking, before I get into all the basics, I thought that the two contestants wasted their 5 minutes.
Are you serious?
I thought it was a waste. Last time I checked, that 5 minutes was supposed to be where you marshal out your points, and it felt like it was just a bit of arguments without really hitting the nail on the head, and somehow it turned out that it was in the last 60 seconds when they were asked to wrap up their stories. That's when all the points I was expecting to hear in the 5 minutes, I started getting to hear them. I thought Shegun's introduction was excellent. It was really, really excellent. He was very coordinated. Neye also did not do a bad job.